First of all, I'd like to apologize to my father and to anyone whose feelings I hurt. When you're in the spirit, you call it how it is, and you don't like to see anything adverse. It really upsets you. This is part of why certain people yell, such as certain martial artists in certain cultures. Speaking of these cultures, when we talk about fight or flight response, to be defeated in martial arts combat is the same idea as defeating an idol. You destroy them or put them away. If they continue to fight or they take flight, like an airplane or a hawk, then they're still in the running. If you are to consider everything, you must consider spar it, spare it, and spirit. Sparrow, right? The sparrow, another bird like the hawk. So, over the course of 4 years, I gave them the opportunity to spar the last pharaoh and prove their point. Humanity insisted on Pan together, and other people were like sheep. Sheep breed sheep. They don't wake up after thousands of years and in one generation magically breed a lion or a leopard. They don't help other animals screen out the lion, the leopard, and the hawk, and the hare in its pure form, and then turn around when they're all gone, and then open the gates to the heavens. Nobody likes to see the descendants of the people that screened out their ancestors be in charge of them, or to be in charge, or to take over the planet. Nobody likes that. And the people with the highest standard of honor, the martial artists, the warriors that fought for this planet, resent it the most. All works, no works with ill-gotten gains are accepted. They are made with the tools of ill-gotten gains. So the bodies that they are forging in their image is the image of ill-gotten gains for generations. God made an order. He didn't mean for birds one day to turn into lions. He made an order. He didn't mean for sheep to one day turn into lions. There's an order. So when you look at the tree of life, right, it is the promises of snakes, okay, and pretending that knowing is the full battle versus life and eternal youth in spirit. So when you think about fight or flight, we look at the maroon colonies of the slaves, Zumbi and Palmares, okay. These are people that fled slavery. They couldn't win at that point. They went and made their own colonies and resisted them for a time. And then they died in a state of honor, okay. The spirit in which they fought had to be a fair fight for you to prove your spiritual point over them. So when they couldn't defeat me and they resorted to cheating, we see 4 groups of people that must be considered first and foremost, because the creator and the creation, women because of reproduction. Women are going to go out of their way to find the best mate that they can. It's easy for them to get a mate if they're an attractive woman. If they have the scale of a fool, then they won't consider the top martial artist as a viable candidate, or even look for who's the top martial artist, or even know how to look. The wisest and the best women seek the top martial artist as a mate first and foremost up until this point. Okay? This is a continued rule. In the future, they'll all be scum. When I'm dead, everyone's scum. It doesn't count. It's all illusion, technology, and bullshit. This was the last chance for man to get it right. So the women, the martial artists / warriors, the scientists, and the tradesmen are the 4 main angles you look. Okay, in the past I described it as the criminal instead of the woman, but as I thought about it more and more, it refined my point of view that it is the woman on that angle. She's represented in the deities, and she's a key part of this. She's also on the Narmer palette as well. Okay, I believe it's a woman and martial artist servants. Okay, it also goes back to the difference between a slave in the Western culture and a slave as a captured prisoner of war in African culture, which is partially how they were sold. They were kidnapped unfairly outside the official rules of skirmishes, and they were captured in fair skirmishes between villages, families, and extended families, which caused them to be slaves, which gave them a certain dignity in being caught. They were kind of like, your martial arts school is inferior. You're now the kind of white belt in our school, so to speak. You're the beginner. And we are going to teach you from here, and you have a certain dignity about you, you know, versus being demoted to the lowest level of society and being abused and whipped and treated with scorn. You're treated as part of the structure. This also is why there is an order. There isn't oneness with everyone is equal. There is an order, and it is a martial arts order, and that order ends with me. Okay. Joseph is a flame, another way to look at it, to describe it biblically. Again, I'm not a Christian. I believe their explanations fall short, and the good name of Christianity is gone. But the name of Haru the Elder hasn't quite been contaminated to that degree. And so I'll describe myself that way instead. Okay, this also has to do with transference. If this idea has been co-opted because of man's lack of consistency with its pure form, then it shouldn't be described as such. And I do believe that Christianity is a rewriting of Egyptian martial arts philosophies to favor the kind of pan crowd that wanted everyone to be equal, while leaving hints of the truth in their true application and interpretation. The ideas they refer to lead you to the true logos of God. Okay. I am the gatekeeper. Mind, body, soul, acceptance of spirit is what it takes to be the gatekeeper. No works with ill-gotten gains. All right, so we look at seppuku. When a woman is on the verge of being raped, okay, she has the choice to kill herself if she cannot fight back effectively. See, I can't run fast enough. I can't hide effectively enough. I can't fight effectively, right? This is part of being part of a martial arts order. Therefore, you don't get assimilated into the devil's structure. You know, in Japanese culture, they stab the belly, right? The lower soul, the worldly soul, the reproductive organs that so on, right? Satan, the wordplay, so on, where the T is the plus. Okay? It's also like people saying, so what? Right? So what to what? Well, depending on how they say it, it's kind of referring to Satan, right? So what? They're raping our kids, you know? So what? In the future, our kids are going to be mind control slaves to pedophiles. I'm not going to take a stand because I want those kids to live and to breed more mind control slaves to pedophiles. This is not being the top martial artist here. This is not being a brain surgeon having caught a flight during a war and was not put away. This is not being the last pharaoh here. This is something that every social planner from every race and culture can appreciate and must consider when social planning. If they are of Satan, they will ignore these truths to survive. He who jumps on the grenade is the most loyal of the regiment, if they are all somewhat equal, right? One could say that if there is a pharaoh among him who must live for humanity to continue, it's not clear-cut. But if you all call yourselves equal, he who jumps on the grenade is the most loyal and honorable. He who finds his life at the sake of the righteous, at the price of the righteous, is a despicable snake. And no, in the future, snakes will not bring you the great hawk. They will not. Pharaoh has to choose his heir. Even the cult of Min, look it up, understood that. Tour Egypt, Min. The ceremony in which the pharaoh would choose his heir at the ceremony of Min in Upper Egypt, according to Tour Egypt, even according to the Setian following scum and their websites. Pharaoh must choose an heir. In the absence of that, the world order is lost. The Ethiopian stayed behind and was put away. With all due respect. The Igbo resisted the British, which led to the Biafran Civil War when the British left during Nigerian independence, and there was a rivalry, the resulting turmoil over who's in charge and who's qualified. We see the same problem. The Igbos were more educated than the other two groups, Yorubas coming close, and the uneducated people in the north seized control. This is the bottom line, regardless of who killed who, when, where, and why. The bottom line is that is what it was really about. A tribal, a civil, a cultural, and a religious war, and more. A social war, a reproductive war, a martial artist war, all in one. Dambi versus Ikenga, Ra, and B of Ra, Biafra. Okay? So, when we look at this thing, I'll show you at the end, you know, you see on the male side of my family, Ethiopian-looking guys, right? They flew. They, instead of being put away, they went to the heart of Africa. Symbolically, I have heart in Biafra, the new Egypt, okay? America's the new Egypt, so was Biafra. The Niger Delta and, you know, the Biafran land, the Nile Delta. And then we go to America, the new Egypt. So 3 steps. 1 from Egypt to the new Egypt, you know, the new Egypt at the time, Biafra, B of Ra, the new Ra-founded nation. And then as it falls apart, as things fall apart, to America, which was already firmly in control of the globalists, the neo-colonialists, the comprador elite, the oligarchs, what have you. Okay, so again, what should a righteous person do? They don't want to give their kids to pedophiles and gender-neutral Greek orgiastic festival-having administer, condition, physical conditioning, mental conditioning, the conditions of the environment. They don't want to be put into this environment to be conditioned to be mind-controlled slaves while they are administered drugs. The minister supporting the psychological construct that allows for the administering of chemicals and technology, which create pupil dilation, which shows sensual desire. Link pupil dilation to sexual signs of sexual interest, and you start to understand. The heart rate increases. The heart as the seat of intelligence, creative energy from the heart. The signs of the heart from the spirit versus from the flesh and from chemicals. Put these things together. Put these things together. I challenge you to put those together. I challenge you. They have hid. Their arguments are nonsensical madness. They have hid. I am in the most powerful globalist nation in the world. The most powerful nation. They have hid. I put their spirit, the American spirit, I put it away. I destroyed it when they accepted. I put them away. They drug the Spirit of God out of me. So I couldn't condition my body to fairly represent the Spirit. I have closed the gate, and man has, until I die, to reopen it, to show me that society is ready to receive the true Pharaoh, to give me my rightful place and allow me a suitable helper to plant my seed. They will not. And the only way they can prove otherwise is by giving me my rightful place and transform to transform into people with the Spirit of God. They will not. The sun gate will remain closed after my death permanently. I am the gatekeeper. I am the lock. And there needs to be a combination of things. Lake, lock, Lake Mo Aries, Lake Nasser. I am the lake. The sun walks on the water. Sky walks on the water. The big man has trouble fleeing. The elephant has grace. The big woman only gets respect in my order. You only have true reverence and respect in my order. There is only true life, dedication, loyalty, determination, focus, concentration, honor, and so on, virtue, valor in my order. The hippo woman gets no respect. The guys have to settle for her. But when she finds her rightful place, she finds her suitable mate who respects her and loves her for the Spirit. The hippo woman gets no respect. The elephant, when transformere in the divine order, gets respect. I am the way to true reverence, true honor, true fulfillment. There is no other way. Thank you.